My beloved child, pause for a moment. Close your eyes, breathe deeply, and let the weight of the day fall away. In this stillness, I want to speak to you. There's a truth I want you to hold close to your heart. You are not forgotten. I see you. I see the battles you fight, the silent tears you cry, and the questions that fill your mind. You may feel invisible to the world, but to me, you are precious, seen, and deeply loved. There's a story I want to tell you, a story about a little boy named Samuel. From the time he was a child, Samuel sought to hear my voice. One night, he lay in the stillness and I called out to him. At first, he didn't recognize my voice, but as he opened his heart, he came to understand that I had chosen him for something extraordinary. Like Samuel, I am calling out to you. Can you hear me? In the noise of life, in the busyness of your days, my voice can often be drowned out. But when you pause, when you quiet your spirit, you'll realize that I've been speaking to you all along, the weight you carry. I know how heavy life can feel sometimes. The burdens you carry, your responsibilities, your worries, your fears, they can weigh you down. But my child, you were never meant to carry these alone. Do you remember the story of the Israelites wandering in the wilderness? Day after day, they carried their fears, questioning whether I would provide for them. But every morning I sent manna from heaven, enough to sustain them for that day. In the same way, I want to provide for you. I want to lift the burdens from your shoulders. But to do that, you must trust me. Bring your worries to me. Lay them at my feet, and know that I am big enough, strong enough, and loving enough to carry them for you. The gift of strength. Do you know how strong you are? You may not feel it right now. The struggles you're facing may seem overwhelming, and you may feel like you're barely holding on. But let me remind you, your strength does not come from the world, it comes from me. Think of a mountain climber scaling the steepest cliffs. Every step is a struggle, every breath a challenge. But with each step, they grow stronger. They learn to trust the tools they've been given and the guide leading them. You are that climber, and I am your guide. The challenges you face are not meant to break you, but to build you. With every trial, I am shaping you, refining you, and preparing you for the purpose I've placed on your life. When you feel weak, lean on me. When you feel like giving up, remember that I am with you. And when you feel like you can't take another step, I will carry you. The beauty of forgiveness. Let's talk about forgiveness, my child. I know it's not easy. The pain others have caused, the wounds that still ache, it feels impossible to let them go. But forgiveness is not for them, it's for you. Do you remember Joseph? Betrayed by his own brothers, sold into slavery, and left to suffer in a foreign land. He had every reason to be angry, every reason to hold on to bitterness. But when the time came, Joseph chose forgiveness. And in doing so, he not only freed himself, but he also brought healing to his entire family. I am calling you to do the same. Let go of the anger, the resentment, the pain. It doesn't mean that what they did was right. It means that you're choosing freedom over bitterness, peace over pain. And as you forgive, you'll feel the chains that have held you back begin to fall away. The waiting season. I know the waiting is hard. You've prayed, you've hoped, you've held on, and yet it feels like nothing is changing. The dreams I've placed in your heart feel distant, as though they'll never come to pass. But my child, let me assure you, the waiting is not wasted. Do you remember David? Anointed as king while he was still a shepherd boy, he waited years before stepping into his destiny. During that time, he faced trials, enemies, and moments of deep doubt. But those years were not wasted. They were a time of preparation. In the same way, I am preparing you. The waiting is refining you, teaching you to trust me, and aligning circumstances for your good. So don't lose heart. Trust that my timing is perfect, and know that what I have planned for you is worth the wait. Peace, it's something you long for, isn't it? In a world filled with chaos, uncertainty, and fear, peace feels like a distant dream. But my child, peace is not found in the absence of problems. It's found in my presence. Think of the disciples on the stormy sea. The waves were crashing, the wind was howling, and their fear was overwhelming. But then I stood and spoke 3 simple words: peace, be still. And in an instant the storm was calmed. I want to speak those same words over your life. When the storms rage, when the winds of fear and doubt threaten to pull you under, I am there, speaking peace into your heart. Trust me to calm the storm and let my peace fill your soul. Gratitude opens doors. There is power in gratitude, my child. When you focus on what you have rather than what you lack, your heart begins to change. Gratitude shifts your perspective and opens the door to joy, even in the hardest seasons. Take a moment right now. Think of one thing you're thankful for. Maybe it's the breath in your lungs, the warmth of the sun on your face, or the love of a friend. These are my gifts to you, reminders of my goodness and faithfulness. Make gratitude a daily practice. Write down your blessings, speak them aloud, and let them remind you that I am with you, providing for you every step of the way. A new beginning. My child, no matter where you've been or what you've done, today is a new beginning. My mercies are new every morning, and my love for you never fades. Do you remember Peter? He denied me 3 times, turning away in my greatest hour of need. But when we met again, I didn't shame him or remind him of his failures. Instead, I gave him a new purpose, a new beginning. I want to do the same for you. Let go of the guilt and shame that weigh you down. Step forward into the future I've prepared for you, knowing that you are forgiven, loved, and free. As we close, hold on to this truth. My love for you is constant. It doesn't waver when you stumble. It doesn't fade when you doubt. It is unchanging, eternal, and unconditional. When you face challenges, when fear whispers in your ear, when doubt tries to steal your hope, remember who you are. You are mine, and I will never let you go. Walk forward in faith, my beloved. Trust in my promises. Embrace the life I've planned for you. And always remember, you are never, ever alone.